To clear it up, I feel like you're thinking romantic soulmate.
And honestly, that's the only way I think when I hear
That's what's like
soulmate,
in the
I
movies.
just
That's
hear
what's around
romantic.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will
But
admit,
I do agree
yeah.
that you never know if you travel to even if you go like 2 cities away or another state, you never
So
know.
the way that I feel about that, though, is that it goes back to the lessons you're supposed to learn now and the people that come into your life now. Because what if you're walking down the street and you bump into someone that's from like London and you
Yeah.
guys hit it off?
Yeah, so you don't even have to be in their vicinity.
Yeah,
just-
it's based on like what you have to
meant to
go
be,
through
it's meant
this
to be.
life. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I think.
Well, and so, so that's the romantic side, right? That's how I see it. And Leslie, if you hear this, you're still my soulmate.
Of course, we
Love
all
you,
know
duh.
this.
But that's the other thing too. It's like let's move on to like the friends, right? You can have friends that just resonate with you forever, for life, right? Some of them they come into your life very early on, and then they kind of drop off, and then other friends pick up. But then there are some friends that are with you like from the get. Shout out Juanchis, you know. So to me, like in like taking your perspective on it, Juanchis would be one of my soulmates. Not in a romantic way, just in like a
So
friendship
you never
way.
know. I've seen them.
Hey.
I know what goes on
Hey,
behind,
that drink,
behind those doors.
that drink is getting to her. She's starting to blurt out stuff. Watch out, Juanchis. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So Juanchis, I would consider my soulmate as a friend because I've known him forever. We've always been friends, and we've just always gone. That's my dog, right?
Yeah.
But I think that also goes back to, I mean, I can see it both ways. Like how you mentioned, if somebody is from London and you bump into them and you're just like, wow, like you feel something there, then I guess you could kind of do that with a friend. Like if you're at a bar, right? And this German dude comes and you're like, hey, buy me a drink, or like, hey, let's drink. And then you guys
Become
get
friends for
along.
life.
You can become friends for life. I know that happens. But I think for me, I've always thought of a soulmate as just being somebody you're engaged romantically with. I never really thought about it as like, no, your soulmate can be a friend,
A
parent,
a
or
stranger,
yeah.
Well, yes. Go
ahead.
Well, going back to the romantic thing, that's why, like personally, I don't know how I feel about marriage. Because I don't like to settle, and so if I find someone that I'm very compatible with, like we can be compatible for a few years, but then maybe one day, like you say, I meet someone else. I'm just very unsure about it because I think you can have like people are like chapters in your book of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you've been a longer chapter in my life than someone I met in elementary school. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I might have learned something from that person in elementary school, that old friend. And so that's why when it comes to the romantic aspect, that's where a lot of your placements play in part of that. Because for me, I think the Sagittarius sun kind of like takes over sometimes.